It's the first case of its kind in the local health sector. On Thursday, medical officials held a meeting to release details of a case of a Guyanese woman with 2 uteruses who gave birth to 2 babies at the Georgetown Public Hospital. Senior Registrar attached to the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, Dr. Rafi Rosen, made the discovery.
Sometimes diffusion, a process known as apoptosis, usually happens, which is a programmed cell death. So this happens and it forms a cavity, a single cavity that gives rise to the uterine cavity for a female. Now in this case, the apoptosis happened, but the septum that usually supposed to go away stayed. So it divided the uterus into 2 cavities, independent cavities with 2 cervix.
Dr. Rosen further explained that the patient had developed pregnancy twice because of the permanent partition of the uterus, and that the 2 partitions had developed all the physical attachments one uterus would normally have. In this case, the 2 babies were not considered twins.
It looks like a normal uterus, but a normal uterus will have this area up that way, all right, not down. So that might give you an suspicion that something is wrong. This is abnormal uterus. So there are different types of abnormalities that we have.
Dr. Pedro disclosed that in such cases, the complications may vary from low fertility, preterm labor, and abnormal menstrual cycle, among others. He further stated that didelphous uterus, meaning 2 uteruses, usually occurs exceedingly sparingly.
There is also the possibility of superfetation and superfecundation, which is basically getting pregnant even though you are already pregnant, right? These are terminology that are basically in theory, but it can happen because the patient basically get pregnant on one side, and within probably the same cycle, ovulation may or may not happen, but if it happens, you can get pregnant on the other side, which is what happened. She ovulated twice, and not this case, but just to know for research reasons, you can get pregnant from 2 different spouses.
Dr. Rosen says mother and babies are healthy and were discharged from the hospital.
When the babies are growing, that uterus works as a physiological tumor. It grows very big. So ultrasonographically, if you're looking at it from the abdominal, from the front, what you would basically look for is just a thin line, because that septum is seen from one side. So when I actually went in and I delivered the male baby, baby boy, there was no way to get into the other side. You had to make another incision, which we call a hysterotomy, in order to go in over the other side and deliver the baby girl.
Reporting for HGP Nightly News, Ayana George.